is next. Yeah, please. Excuse me, sit down. You weren't called. Sit down. Sit down. Sit down. Go ahead.
I have the right to ask the question.
No, you don't. You haven't been called.
I have the right to ask the question.
Go back to Univision.
No.
Donald Trump's dust-up with Jorge Ramos the other night could not have gone any better if the billionaire had scripted it himself. Listen to the Univision anchor further disrupt that press conference, parrot the predictable rhetoric of the open borders amnesty crowd, then piously proclaim that he had the right to do what he was in fact not doing.
You cannot deport 11 million.
Go ahead.
You cannot deport 11 million people. You cannot build a 1,900 wall. You cannot deny citizenship to children in this
Sit
country.
down, please.
Those ideas.
You weren't called.
I'm a reporter and don't touch me, sir. Don't touch
Go.
me, sir. You cannot touch me. I have the right to ask a question.
Let me offer a not-so-friendly amendment to you, Senor Ramos. You have the right to ask a question when recognized to do so. Besides, you weren't asking questions. You were making a speech calling for America to surrender border security, surrender our sovereignty, surrender our constitutional right to define citizenship. As Roger Stone noted on this program yesterday, Jorge's daughter is working for Hillary Clinton's campaign. So Senor Ramos pulled a stunt against Trump designed to help his daughter's employer. Simply stated, it did not work. But don't take my word for it. Take a look at the two ladies, Weeby sisters, who have become a YouTube sensation.
Hey, y'all. Okay, so I'm sitting minding my own business, watching the TV, and I see my man Donald Trump on CNN, and somebody stood up and tried to interrupt his press conference. And see, what I don't understand, perhaps this man don't know proper protocol. Perhaps you don't know when you're in front of a leader, you talk to him a certain way, and you only talk to him when he asks you to speak to him. Okay, that's what you do. And see, if you don't know how to conduct yourself in a conference like that, what you do is you write your thoughts down on paper and see if you can mail them to him, and we will see if he would like to use your questions in the press conference, okay? Or what you do, send him a telegram. Send him a telegram and maybe he may use it. Or I tell you what you do, sing a lullaby, because the American people is tired of the same old sad song. You sing this song over and over and over again and over again. Listen, he is going to build that wall with you or with you, out you. And if you don't know how to act in front of a press conference, if you don't know how to conduct yourself, I tell you what you do. Sit down and shut up.
And while certain media and political elites fervently wish Donald Trump would sit down and shut up, that's not going to happen. This afternoon in Greenville, South Carolina, Trump basically said he was the voice of the silent majority, and he will not turn down the volume on his viewpoint anytime soon. At least, that's the way I see it. Now, time to take a look at what's on your mind via social media. Our first comment comes from Maxie, who emailed in about birthright citizenship. She writes, I think birthright citizenship should apply only to babies with parents legally living in the U.S. Our Constitution was created by legal U.S. citizens. Illegal immigrants do not deserve all the financial help from the government. If they want to live in the U.S., they have to do it legally. Next comes a comment from Thomas writing in about the treatment of Donald Trump. Here's what he has to say. I get irritated at political pundits attacking Mr. Trump. Every time they attack him, I dig my feet in deeper for him and am more determined not to vote for a politician who will somehow be rendered useless after inauguration. And finally, we hear from Paul, who writes about some in the GOP questioning Donald Trump's conservatism. Here's what he has to say. I don't care if Trump isn't a, quote, true conservative, close quote. If all he does as president is repeal Obamacare, secure the border, and begin deporting illegal felons, he'll have done more for us than all the Republicans in Congress ever have. Thanks for writing in. Now, maybe you have a comment you'd like to send to us. Here is where you send it. Pretty simple. Newsmaxtv.com/comments. That'll do it for tonight. For those you see and those you don't, J.D. Hayworth saying, stay brave, stay free, stay tuned.